30. McNeely had 20. Day-Day Ames had 18. Virginia rolled in that one in Charlottesville, 75-61.
That was actually on February the 8th, which is now affectionately known as Tony Bennett Day. So when you think about that, there's a lot of emotion for Virginia playing that game at home against Georgia Tech. And Ron Sanchez told us pregame they had a lot of emotion. They needed to be able to find that again as McNeely's able to knock that to space. It's feeding him on the post, but it runs the uphill DHO with Nate George. George is now putting it right where his teammate can catch and be effective.
Bayandongo with 10 already, along with 4 rebounds.
And Nate George with 4 assists already. So they're getting what they need on the offensive end.
Nothing but Georgia Tech's come out with a lot of energy defensively. Flipped up but no by McNeely. A big tangle for the rebound. It comes right back to Virginia.
And that's 2 Yellow Jackets fighting for the basketball. Ends up allowing Virginia to come up with the offensive rebound.
McNeely with that quick release.
On fire. But it all starts on the defensive end for them. They're pressuring the ball. They're getting in the passing lanes. They're making it really tough for this Virginia club to score the ball. Every shot's contested. Besides that one.
Kofi answer.
Great start for Syracuse.
A 20-point lead for the Orange. And Virginia still struggling defensively. And this is a Cavaliers team that the backbone of this program is Buchanan gets.
I think the defense does it for me.
And on the offensive end, Eddie Lampkin 17 points, Lucas Taylor's 13 have led the way. Those 2 guys sitting on the bench right now for the Orange, though. A lob, beautiful play out of the timeout. Anthony Robbins and Eddie Lampkin, dynamic duo tonight in the regular season finale.
I'm telling you, whenever he's touched the ball, it's been a positive play, whether if it's a score, foul, or an assist.
Jackson. Virginia takes it away. Now this is also going to be a clash of styles and tempo. Florida State wants to push. Virginia, they can push. Ames, catch and shoot. Got it. Third block tonight. Saunders. It's the 3, Virginia.
So Victor Locken gets into the paint, and that's where Virginia's been most fragile. You take a look at the Cavaliers starting 5. It's amazing. They've been playing their best basketball when they turn it into a shootout, not a defensive grind fest like we're accustomed to.
And that's where Clemson has to lock in defensively. As you can see, they haven't.
Great feed and Blake Buchanan.
Or you're switching. It's got to disrupt the rhythm.
Zachary pull up, pop, misfires. Clemson has gone more than 3 minutes without a field goal, and Virginia's made their last 3 shots. Who's in front by 5 early? McNeely. Got it again! Game-winning streak. They've been terrific on the road. You said it. They're just so difficult to beat. You have to earn it. A team that has only lost 5 times this season. 3 of them have been in overtime. Buchanan. McNeely.
They're trying to stay between a ball and a basket. Force you to take a contested shot. They'll live with that. They don't want to give you everything. They don't want to give you threes. They don't want to give you layups and keep you off the free throw line. They don't want to foul.
Clemson just 1 make on their last 7. They've missed 5 in a row. Shot clock down to 5. Rohde tees it up.
That's got to be. Right? You kidding me? It doesn't get any better than that.
Hunter can't bury the corner 3. Let's see if Virginia can punch back out of the timeout. Saunders lines up a 3. Got it!
Teams are missing. They're not making each other miss.
Saunders gets up and swats it away, denying Reed. Up ahead, Tane Murray. Scoop to the hoop for 2.
You got to trust the work you put in. Confidence comes from preparation, and you can't have these type of turnovers there. They're unforced. They're just careless with the basketball. And again, the difference is that Virginia doesn't turn the basketball over.
Kofi rocks the rim.
That's not the guy you want taking the 3. Guy named Hunter Silas out there. He get the first shot, and then Cam Hilden to Juke Harris.
McNeely contested, and he barely.
To Virginia, who's struggling to score against you, you don't do anything to give them easier opportunities.
Murray with Jackson on him, trying to get free. You always keep an eye on that shot clock with Virginia. Inside 10. Rohde over the top and a slam by Kofi.
But look at that.
That spin denied by Rohde. Trying to get free. Kofi, nice job to get to it. He beat everybody to the 50-50. 6 turnovers now suddenly for the Tar Heels. And straight on, Virginia launching the 3. Kofi swishes that one.
Stop. Lead at 10. Once again, opportunity to get down to 8. That's about as close as they've been able to get it since North Carolina took that 19-point lead. But if you continue now just to operate offensively, there's time. You found some rhythm on the offensive end to be able to get the shots that you want.
McNeely curling and firing. Got it. He loves that shot.
That's the shot. And again, you love the effort by Robinson. There are a lot of guys right now, especially when you go back and watch what Cooper Flagg has done to certain players that may just get out the way and let him have the dunk. But I love that Anthony Robinson contested him and ended up winning that battle.
On the cut, laid up and in by Moore. Shoulder now, backs it in. His first bucket, and puts Duke on the board.
And that's where Cooper Flagg can absolutely have an advantage. When you switch defensively and screen and roll action, he can take advantage of smaller players inside the paint.
McNeely, who's been hot, gets up. James, who's been pretty quiet. Toe-to-toe and right around Proctor, but can't finish it. Rebound tapped high several times. A battle for that. Ames from the corner will launch and drains it.
Honestly, UConn was just a better team yesterday. I mean, there's no excuses to be made. Dawn won't ever make excuses about it. But one of the classiest things I've ever seen is after the game, Dawn her team gets blown out, breaks their 71-game winning streak. After the game, she comes out and makes the tour around the court for all the fans to take selfies and take pictures with her. Older brother played with Tony Bennett.
And Concaniple's uncles formed a playing group, not music, but basketball, the Flying Caniples, a popular 3-on-3 tournament team. As Saunders launching, and he makes sure they're not getting bacon yet.
And there will be no bacon for you.
He has 17, along with 14 rebounds, his 7th double-double. Get it down low, Robinson.
From Power 5 conference, a guy who didn't play much of his last school, or do you take a guy from a lower, mid-level Division I team? And Lawal has made that transition very, very well.
Boy, is he ever. Back-to-back double-doubles, including that come from behind 14-point win last week in South Bend, Indiana. Little fadeaway by Kofi and rattles it in.
Virginia has a big advantage over Virginia Tech because at the free throw line, Virginia much better percentage.
And that was a big story in the first game between these two teams. Virginia started fouling with about 5 minutes left in the game, and Virginia Tech nearly lost the game because he couldn't make free throws. Bang, nothing but the 7 all game. Murray is checked in for the first time for the Wahoo. Shot clock down to 10. Here's McNeely off the screen. Fadeaway 3. My.
Now, it's interesting with the double team Poteet, they're not even looking to throw him the ball now, Tom. They gave him a glance inside, and then they just kicked it around out on the perimeter.
Here's Buchanan, who's been very quiet and has been so good the last couple of games, averaging nearly 10 points and 11 rebounds. Rohde the alley-oop. Kofi caught it, uses his body, sticks it in, he'll go to the line.
It's okay.
Recksteiner whistled for an illegal screen. Boy, you hit Recksteiner, you are going to feel it. That dude is put together at 6'1", 195. Of course, his dad, if you're a big WWE fan for 3 decades, was Scott Steiner. And another. Here we go, boys and girls. 3:20 to go. Virginia leads by 2. Not going to pull the trigger. His last 2 3 attempts have been air balls. Now this guy's been lighting it up. Oh my!
Got to switch again, double team. Powell. That's his first miss from long distance. Buchanan run on the floor. Dongo got back, pinned it on the backboard. Closing in. 70 points scored. Since 2010, their record is 174-12 when they score 70 or more. Ames. That's 70.
Winning streak. Cooper Flagg's been off the charts. 23 points per game in ACC play.
And Ishmael Leggett gets another field goal. Only the 3rd field goal for the Panthers, and 2 of them have been by Leggett in this game, attacking the painted area where we were expecting to see the Panthers guards in the paint all evening long, but Virginia's done a great job keeping them out. As Graham absolutely does. He is a shooter, and at 6'11", he can get his shot off against pretty much any defense. He's on the floor right now for Jeff Capel to provide some offense.
They hit their first 3. Not a lot of time left before halftime, but a lot of time left in the game for the Pitt Panthers to claw back into this thing, which they're trying to do, but a tough move downstairs. Buchanan got that. And again, Pitt, if it does come down to foul shooting, they have an advantage over everybody they play. And I mean anybody in America, because they hit 80%.
Yeah, struggled a little bit from the free throw line throughout this game. Only 7 for 11, but of course you call that a struggle when you're coming off a game where you win a perfect 20 of 20 on the road at Wake Forest.
Rohde gives it up. There's McNeely on target with a triple.
And we talk, but you can't get it all back at once.
Big underneath. 2 bigs colliding there. Buchanan got up high. And a rejection for Virginia.
When you have, of course, Amadou Kante on the floor, you don't have the scoring ability that you have with Cameron Corrin, but Corrin not necessarily having that energy earlier that was satisfactory to Coach Jeff Capel. So going a different direction to start the game.
Underneath for the slam and a big dunk by Kobe. Whether it was a 3 or a 2 during the next dead ball. This one definitely a 3-point attempt, but it won't drop. Buchanan keeps it alive. Rohde will swing it. Here's Day-Day Ames with another one rattling in.
Ends up being a tough three-point field goal opportunity for Jorge Diaz-Graham, which he can knock it down, but that was one Zach Austin should have been able to lay in if it had been a better pass.
Underneath and up and in. A quick strike by Buchanan.
But we attacking the paint once again. The Panthers only shooting 34% from the field. And look at Virginia at 56, so they've gotten it done on the offensive end. But now as the game gets closer, Virginia can't play with pressure on them to be able to finish.
Murray the open man, and that'll go down from three-point land.
Guys enjoying their time playing basketball at the University of Virginia. That's what it's about. It's not as much about the wins and losses, but of course that's coach talk, because for everyone else it's about wins and losses. Trying to build some momentum.
Dunn with a pull-up pop from three, and that clangs away.
That absolutely would have built momentum, but it ends up being a breakaway. Wow.
Quickly on the other end, Ames, no one.
That's Kofi. See if Virginia can build momentum. McNeely squares for a three. 7 for Isaac. On the drive, Burnham bothered by Kofi. Recovered Rohde. Lead for Murray all the way to the basket. Played on that very talented team at Paul VI. Tossed away on the turnover. Poteet. Here goes Day-Day Ames, the scoop and score. Hammond for shoot. Kick to Lawal out of the corner. The three bounded away.
He shoots 52% in conference play from out there.
Rohde. Lob. Robinson the flush.
West, Tech West is 8 for 15 from beyond the arc.
Here's Rohde and the Cavaliers, who had it a moment ago to a three-point game. Got the free throw. Now Buchanan rolling with a right hand. Buchanan's second field goal. Team today, 36% for the regular season. They're a little better than that in league play. Slightly under 40% are the Hokies in just ACC games. All of a sudden, 9-point lead, largest of the day. McNeely a triple. Got it. Nice answer by the Cavaliers.
Well, they're up by 6. I think he can deal with a serenade.
Backdoor, Robinson.
They get that play.
Side for Roper. Slides into traffic. Skip back for Konechny. Back rim miss. Buchanan the rebound. And here's McNeely front court for the Cavaliers, who trailed by 8. Buchanan for Kofi. Murray on the bounce pass. Rohde skips to the corner. McNeely another three. Sure. Wow.
He's not anywhere except close to the basket, but he catches the ball nicely in there.
Yep.
That was a nice little lofted shot.
Out front, here's Day-Day Ames teeing up a lefty three that rattles in. 13
outweighs Kofi by 40 pounds, and if you're going to let him get going on the dribble, Kofi can't stop him on the inside.
Kofi answers with a nice knockdown.
That's just the kind of team they are.
Well, through 8 possessions in this game, Boston College has turned it over 4 times.
Now, the Virginia defense has been really good. You know, and during this 5-game losing streak, Virginia has allowed 74 points per game to its opponents.
The freshman Sharma picks up his dribble, finds Blake Buchanan. Give and go, and Buchanan hammers it home. Does that here, working against the freshman, and the floater does not fall. Rohde finds Saunders. And this is Virginia.
Now, Virginia's defense continues to be outstanding.
Venning fading away, and it falls off the rim.
Venning needs to go to the basket. Virginia doesn't really have anybody that can contest him when he gets close.
McNeely lines up the three.
That's a real credit to your defense.
Rohde contested take. Gets his own miss. Fresh shot clock.
That's 5 offensive rebounds in the game for Virginia, and they're usually not a very good offensive rebound.
Great pass, and Tay Murray.
Like the second chance points.
and then they have to protect the basketball. And so if you do those things, then you have a chance, particularly if you're shooting the ball well, you can play with about anybody.
Big time jam.
Is open.
Well, obviously you can't leave him, but even on a loose ball, offensive rebound, you cannot leave Rain Smith at any point in a half court.
Ames probing. Blake Buchanan on the floor had one of the best games of his career Wednesday for UVA, 11 and 15. Saunders back-to-back deep.
Even when he misses, the ball goes halfway down.
Rohde. This time it's an easier finish for Buchanan. Virginia's only going to go 8 deep. Again, Noah Waterman not available with a sore right thumb today. Hard screen by Kofi. That freed McNeely for a good look. Edwards with a dozen in this game. Mentioned his struggles in conference play. His last 5 averaging 9.8 a game. The previous 5 he was at 21 a game. McNeely, and McNeely scores.
Good start for Ames back in the starting 5 for Virginia. Harris, Saunders came out the challenge, got a piece of it, and Buchanan has it for UVA.
Virginia has settled down from that initial start that I thought SMU had better energy.
Rohde with the lob to Buchanan. For SMU. Rohde has not scored tonight. McNeely has not made a 3-point field goal. Here's Sharma. Sharma working with Buchanan. Now back to McNeely. Once again, the shot clock winding down for Virginia, down to 5. Great feed and the finish by Buchanan for Kofi.
I don't think that was a shot that Coach Enfield wanted out of that timeout there. A contested 3.
Kofi gets it to drop.
Let's see what SMU runs here. They're going to keep the ball in Miller's hands.
Miller threw it away. Throw it right to Rohde. The lob for Buchanan.
Which was on the road at Cal. They gave up the most free throw attempts they've given up, and they fouled the most they fouled. They have trouble guarding the ball. The emphasis for Ron Sanchez is guarding the ball, keeping the ball in front, keeping Stanford out of the paint.
Yeah, they are top 15 in the country in fewest fouls per game, and that's denied right now by Blake Buchanan at 6'11", off the Virginia bench.
I mean, look at the weak side help, Beth. Okay, they got 2 guys on the weak side with 4 feet in the paint. That's part of the pack line.
Transition 3, and it's knocked in by with a nice feed from Blake's. They've become a really good combo, the playmaker and the big-time scorer at over 20 a night. Rohde trying to back in the defender. Keeps that dribble alive. McNeely, who never stopped moving, gets his second triple. Constant. He had 17 Wednesday against Virginia Tech. Amongst the Power 4 leagues, that is the second best improvement in the country. For Jalen Blakes, the transfer from Duke, where he spent 3 years. Kofi with a nice drive.
First thing out of his mouth to me is, did our women win today? Debbie Ryan had a really big game that day at Virginia, the head coach at UVA. I said, no, they actually didn't win. He said, oh, and then he did the interview. And I was like, that's all you need to know about Tony Bennett. What a
do if they can make a couple threes early, it can really start loosening up some other options as well.
Virginia coming off a tough loss to Louisville at home this past Saturday. Virginia, the team has been here since Sunday. They've been in the Bay Area as they play Stanford on Saturday. As it rolls in for the
split second more, that would have turned into an easy deuce.
On the drive, and Jovan Blacksher went crashing into the stanchion. Here comes Virginia back the other way. Tane Murray spots up. 3!
Tremendous that game.
And the stat line for Jason Kidd in that game, 11 points, 14 assists. Saving it toward the basket, but goes right to Virginia. Just the 4th Cal turnover tonight.
We were talking earlier, Roxy, about
Nice lob. Andrew Rohde finding here tonight is Andrej Stojakovic finding a way again. 19 for Stojakovic.
Yeah, such a great knack and a great feel. Once he got past the first line of defense, great body control.
Open look at a three.
They're going to be good as time goes on.
Stojakovic had it poked away. Andrew Rohde racing up the floor. The drop pass to the trailing. Jacob
winning. Play started with Scott on the defensive end. Nice pass from underneath into the corner, but Murray's line drive three is no good. Kofi, the offensive rebound. Virginia's missed 4 of its first 5. Now Rohde. Kofi puts it on the floor, switches to the left hand. Counted it out.
Ball fake. Uses the ball fake to create space. Wasn't an offensive foul. Creates the easy look.
6 points for Chucky Hepburn, their leading scorer on the season.
I'll say this, they just ran that exact same play for Isaac McNeely because the ball pressure was so good by Javon Hadley, not able to find anything.
Wow, that was deep. Another logo three.
Am I confused? What a finish.
Back to within 4. Waterman trying to answer. It's an air ball. Remember, UVA had a big second half in their win against NC State on New Year's Eve. Here's Rohde, slip pass, Kofi, spin move on the block, spins back the other way, switches to the left hand.
At 6'10", and the guy can pass the ball too. The swing into the corner and the jumper won't fall by Styles. On the run, Saunders, yes!
But you see the pace. That arc off to a great start here today.
Breon Pass also recruited as a college receiver. And I mean Tennessee, Texas, A&M, UNC, Virginia Tech, they all wanted him to play football.
Yeah, he didn't have just, just D1 offers. He had high-level D1 offers. But Breon Pass now in his 4th season at NC State, a guy that stuck around and waited his turn in the program, which you rarely see. Ball movement by the Wolfpack. The double team by Virginia going in, trying to get the basketball out of the hands of Huntley Hatfield. The extra passing on the exterior allows Taylor to get a nice look from 3.
The story here has been NC State shooting the three-pointer 6 out of 11. And they had their largest lead.
And that's not the scouting report. Coming in shooting 32%, that's under average. When you consider 33% is average for shooting the 3. So the scouting report had to be to force them to beat you from the outside.
Sharma from three-point land when it mattered the most.
And how about this, Obi? NC State had this 4 major programs: men's, women's basketball, football, and baseball. The baseball team went to the College World Series. All 4 of their 4 major programs finished in the AP top 25 on the season.
How about that?
So a strong year for my guy Boo Corrigan and the NC State Athletic Department.
I would say that's an understatement.
Of course, Boo Corrigan from Charlottesville. Mom still here, 94 years old.
Rohde down for Saunders and a bucket
throughout this game.
So tied at 51. And Murray to bring it up, as we mentioned. His mom and dad are here from New Zealand for an extended period of time to watch their son play.
Had a great conversation with them, as well as my parents in practice yesterday. Isaac McNeely and I have a understanding, OB. He is supposed to go down the lane and dunk on someone. His mom says he's been able to do it since he was in the 8th grade.
Sharma hits it. 3-point land.
Fouling as the shot clock nears its end.
Ron Sanchez, the interim head coach for Virginia, gets McNeely back in there. No reason to take him out the rest of the way. With his shooting talent, the swing underneath that reverses up and good shooter in a hurry. They're 3 for their last 17. They turn it over again. And Rohde will wait for the rest of the Cavaliers here, up by 5. 8 minutes to go.
Oh, the defensive breakdown.
McNeely got it.
You cannot lose that guy.
Said one of the key things for them, if they hit threes, put the pressure on Virginia, it could be very, very scary.
Jones coming off a 19-point performance in their
great pass.
Lost to St. Joe's last time. McNeely off the pass fake.
Aggressive and trust his work. And I think the more games that he plays, the more he understands he's the top of the scouting report. And there's a reason for it, because he can play. The more he does that, and he's guarding the best player on the other team.
McNeely
from the together, fathers and daughters, whether you're rooting for American University or for the Virginia Cavaliers. We're so glad you're with us here. Along with Theo Pinson, I'm Doug Sherman. And then the guys will head their separate ways to go home for a few days for the holidays. Saunders on the alley-oop.
Away from Rodgers. That's the 6th Memphis turnover. Kofi was thinking about a 3 there. He can shoot it. St. Murray's in the game for the first time.
Decision. He didn't feel like he could press the issue one-on-one, but I mean, you're in the open floor. You would have loved to come away with at least some foul shots there.
Rohde back for Saunders. Good luck.
The shot clock.
Look for them to throw it right over to Buchanan.
Rohde the lob. Saunders the slam.
SMU and the new coach and the new coaching change. It'll be January, I think, before they settle in.
And don't you think that's the truth for a lot of teams?
Oh, absolutely. With the portal and recruiting and transferring, you know, it's tough. I put everything on my scorecard in pencil.
No kidding. Kofi.
They're in the glass against SMU. They're only down 6 in that category. You'd expect that to be a much wider margin.
And at one point during the first half, it was. Here's Kofi. Kofi came off the bench in that first half and gave him a big 3. Shot clock down to 5. McNeely lets it fly. And this is
him against that team. Not in this league. You know, he's going to have numbers like he had last year for Wake Forest and like he's had earlier this year.
And he averaged 16 points, 3 assists, was among the conference leaders in field goal percentage. And there's a
Well, first of all, make them play defense deep into that shot clock. You know, Virginia playing much more of a 5-out. They'll play some 4 around 1. Part of the volume of threes that they've taken and had to rely on is they have a hard time driving the basketball, and they don't really have a paint scorer.
For Virginia, typically the most patient team in the nation or close to it. A brick 3 by Rohde.
Taken away by Saunders as Martin just let the rebound go, thinking a teammate would collect it. 2 offensive rebounds already for UVA.
McNeely off a cut.
Another 3 for Isaac. Blake Buchanan, 18 points last year. He's already got an early 4 and a great start, Chris, for UVA.
He has. You know, they don't have a point guard, so they've had to do it by committee. Andrew Rohde bringing the ball up there. They've had their big guys get involved with a little bit of the facilitating. One thing you saw in the clip there was Reese Beekman.
This is in America that celebrates that, and they do it with full knowledge of that was a great possession.
Expect single digits on the shot clock if things are going well for the home team. Rohde, nice no look, and Saunders will not call. Virginia staff for a decade, but in 2 separate stints. Stepped away, went to Charlotte, had the 49ers win the first ever postseason tournament in Charlotte program history when they did some good work in Daytona Beach as part, as we said, of a good closing stanza to his time there. Returned here, and with the departure of Tony Bennett from the bench for UVA, now embracing the interim role as the head coach of the Cavaliers. And Tay-Day Ames brings it up the floor. Neely off a screen, and he now has the ball up on the wing. Rohde looks for Buchanan, and he's right where he wanted him to be.
Still early. Robinson's pass knocked down by McNeely.
One pass too many right there.
Ames catch and release. Got it. 2% of their possessions. That's amongst the worst turnover rates in the country. You cannot do that when you play fewer possessions. But now it's Manhattan with a couple of
NCAA tournament experience to this Virginia lineup.
There you go, shoot it. Oh, had an opportunity.
McNeely picked up by Lewis. It's Saunders from the outside. Back-to-back threes.
And like you said, what do? Do you continue to exercise, wear yourself down, or do you eat a little bit, or if all of a sudden the game's over, then you got to go right back out there. So it's difficult.
It'll take them a little while to kind of get in the flow of this game.
In addition to that, we don't expect a ton of points between two really good defensive teams. Kofi knocks down the elbow jump shot.
He's exceptionally strong in that low post. Good pass.
They'll feed the big fella on this end, and Buchanan returns the favor.
Yeah, you can't pivot to your right side and then come back with the right hand, though. If you're going that way, you've got to go left hand.
Rohde sets up Buchanan for two.
And what that does for Tennessee by Lanier making perimeter shots, it's going to open up the inside for their big men. They'll have a little more space.
McNeely, that's a much needed.
All of them at shoot around today. A big team, a tall team, but they've struggled this season with rebounding, particularly on the defensive side. So obviously that's going to be an X factor here in the game. The great offensive rebounding of Villanova versus the challenges that UVA has had this season.
Ames kicks it to Saunders. Well, the three-pointers are full. Longino will be the primary ball handler with Brickus out. Dixon misses a three.
And you see right now, Brickus on the bench, the offensive execution a little bit, you know, little lagging right there as Longino trying to run the point.
Kofi got another one. Virginia lighting it up.
Guys have made the transition. Take a look at like guys like Malcolm Brogdon, Sam Hauser, DeAndre Hunter from Grant Hill's America's team, Atlanta Hawks. But how about Ryan Dunn, guys? He might be the biggest surprise of any of these. The 28th pick in the draft, and he right now is being touted as possibly the steal of the 2024 NBA draft. I spoke to him last night about this game. As you get the foul and the three, this guy can't.
Perkins lays it in. And coming up on a minute left, it is a 12-point Virginia lead. Kofi puts it down with two hands.
In the middle.
See, that's not the way it means. Not in basketball. Fives want to be fours, fours want to be threes, threes, twos, etc.
Well, Mark Byington for Vanderbilt thinks everybody's on his roster as a point guard these days.
And that's exactly the point.
Cavaliers stuck on 15. Rohde, and here is the freshman, Sharma. Welcome to Kofi, the other freshman. Saunders, good ball movement here. Rohde can't finish. Saunders flying in the air. A great effort from the Hoos. You want to talk about a culture that was instilled for 15 years.
And a knowledgeable fan base. Did you hear the cheers? They recognize that effort.
Just wait till they get a shot clock violation later on. Murray puts his head down. Oh, a little hook shot. Done.
Two really good players, Sinani to Goodmanson right there. Sinani is such a good offensive player, does a little bit of everything, so strong.
And then for Goodmanson, Mac, he still has not missed in his Camels tenure. Didn't miss the other night against Pfeiffer in their win over a D3 team, and he's 2 for 2 this evening.
The Penn State transfer.
They think they found a gem in the portal with him coming off the bench, too. Kofi from the corner. Right. Cavaliers looking to separate. Sharma, quick trigger. Bingo!
Haven't seen an awful lot of him, but you see the talent that Coach McGee is so excited about. I think Coach McGee may have cut off the sideline over there. He was in that stance.
Sixth defender out there. Rohde waits. Oh, what a pass for Buchanan. Come on.